Jamie Oliver is here. Presumably, Jamie, you are better late than never this morning.
Yes. Good morning, James. Look, yeah, definitely. I'm actually doing something I didn't think I'd be doing. I'm applauding Boris for being bold, forthright, having not one, but a kind of a handful, an ambush of initiatives that I believe will make a difference. Often these kind of things get beaten down by industry and sort of basically the commercialisation of food and being targeted at kids. But this is a really, really good day today. And I think obviously we've got to make sure it lands and it gets done and they deliver it. But this is kind of the first bit of good news in probably 10 years.
Really? You'd go back that far?
Well, it is. I think, we've always looked at sort of singular items and they often don't work because the problem that we have is that obesity is a normal response to an abnormal environment. That abnormal environment is everything from the marketing, what's on offer, how much it costs, what are the people in the area, inspired or educated to know or want or need to nourish their families. And we know for a fact that if you're poor, if you're from a less privileged background, you are marketed to much harder. The things on offer to you are much more unhealthy. And right now, as we stand in Britain, a less affluent child is more than twice likely to be overweight or obese. That will track into...
Oh, no, the phone line's gone. They've got him. The gremlins. Mate, we're losing the signal a bit. I don't know what you're up to. The phone line's gone down. Should we try once more?
I'm back.
Oh, well, there he is.
I'm
back.
So where was I?
Let me take you back briefly, because I think that distinction you draw is really important between things that are designed more for style than substance. You look at this, the prescription of a Weight Watchers diet plan for overweight patients, ban on junk food advertising before the watershed, consultation on banning it outright online, the buy one, get one frees, which you've had a bee in your bonnet about for years, and the prominent displays in supermarket. This is substance, not just style. That's the point you're making.
Yeah, and also based on really good data and science. Right, so it's these things haven't been campaigned for because it's like a cute idea. We can see that when these elements are reduced from a community, that they thrive better, and the inequality between the poorest and the richest gets shorter. So I think it's all of our interest, no matter where we come from, to make sure that our poorest communities have as many chances to thrive as possible, because everyone's better off. And I think the best thing we can do for the NHS is not need to go there in the first place. So we are thrashing it at the moment, never more so than now, of course. But I think today is a really good day, and God, there's so much to say. But,
well, I know there is. But and yet, what intrigues me most is that you are not in any way going down that, well, it's all right, but he could have done more. You're proper happy with this.
I'm very happy with this. I think it's bold, and of course there's lots. I've got a very long shopping list, but
yes, of course.
I think what we're acknowledging today and what it looks like they will be doing is stuff that we were talking about 10 years ago, and putting all of these items were on chapter 1 of the childhood obesity strategy 5 years ago with Cameron, where I was the only sort of civilian in the room trying to sort of build something that could actually impact and work. And I think, just to put it into context for anyone that might think, oh, that won't work, like the effects of these are so deep and great, and it's much less than just the consumer buying stuff or not having it at that position or that height. If you look at Amsterdam, by having a similar joined up approach, they've been able to reduce childhood obesity by 12% in 3 years.
That's incredible.
We want that. Britain needs that. We want that. And of course, yes, we can add to that. And as you know, I'm very, very passionate about what more we could do at school, how we could support teachers more, lunch cooks more. You would have seen in the press just recently with Marcus Rashford. He was on the campaign that the Bike Back 2030 kids were doing. And these are kids that are on free school lunches. There's 1.3 million families in this country that have free school lunches. This is a whole household that earn less than £7,000 a year. So yes, they get a free school lunch in the 190 days of a school year. What happens in the summer holidays, half term? So Marcus was able to look after this summer holiday because we know that public health in children goes down in the summer holidays because of this very environment. what we want now is to see the government fix it long term.
And there's genuine hope. There's genuine sort of cause for optimism. Jamie,
I hope so.
Can I ask how you found the lockdown personally? How are you getting on? It must have been crazy.
The first 6 weeks was tough. Just trying to. I've got a slightly unusual business and 150 in the team, and just making sure. Are we going to be all right? Is everyone? Can we pay everyone? Can we look after? How can we? Because we were locked down, right? At the same time, I think I was probably the first person in broadcast to make a bespoke cooking show that I did on my phone. So that went into production day one of lockdown. So I was quite busy. But I think, after sort of all the kind of things that I think a lot of us went through, I got to see my kids a lot more. There is, and I'm sure as we unpack in the next few years, we all got to know our kids a little bit more and our partners and the weather. Thankfully we're in summer, not winter. So I think, there was some lovely moments too.
Indeed there was. And it's nice to be talking to you on an upbeat morning. I tell you what, if you think it's rare for you to be offering undiluted praise to Boris Johnson, it's possibly even rarer for me. But on this occasion, he's come to see the light, it would seem.
Look, I think for both of us, when my passion is fairness, choice, truth in the food industry, not hunting down any specific group or particularly kids. And I think, if we can curtail sort of the Wild West of, isn't it funny that when kids go to school, it's only the junk food advertising, and the minute they're at school, it all changes to something different. So I think if we can look at the environment instead of one policy, and if this seems to be something that Boris is passionate about, I hope that all of his ministers can try and take the values of how do I put child health first across the whole government. I think we've got a really good chance. I actually think we've got a world-class good chance. And so fingers crossed, and let's see where it goes. Until then, me and my teams and all the other kind of organisations that are passionate about this will be making sure they deliver. And of course, devil is always in the detail.
Indeedy.